Welcome to another GA Canine online mentoring training program. Today we were featuring young Raz working on his 19th day of training. And in this particular video we have about a 10-minute set time, and our trail layer is about to take off, and we'll kind of get an idea of where he's starting and where he's laying his scent article.
Rock.
Okay, so our 10 minutes is up. You're bringing young Raz in, about to start on the article, and he's squiggling like crazy. He takes good odor, as you see right here, leaves the article immediately, and puffs off at an incredibly fast speed, which is why he overshoots the direction of the track and loses odor, so he starts hunting for it. So right here, I think he just picked up the track from a distance, and you're going to see where he cuts across it coming up here shortly. And what created this to begin with was his speed. And what's so nice about this self-discovery process is he'll learn on his own through mistakes not to do that. And that's what we want, because when we slow the dogs down by hand, when we do it on purpose, they don't really quite understand why we're doing it. And on the other hand, if Raz works these problems on his own, and every time he does something stupid, like run way too fast, and it causes a problem, he has to fix it. And generally, just through repetition, they're going to learn what to do and what not to do. Now, coming up here shortly, he's going to take a little poop break. And I know you asked me in your training questions, you know, is this something that's allowable? You know, because you gave opportune moments to poop and pee before you actually started the track. Well, one of the things you got to kind of think about is flight or fight with these dogs. And the trailing training that we're doing creates a huge amount of prey drive. And, you know, this actually also creates a flight or fight syndrome a lot of times. And so generally you can have a dog that will poop or pee before the track, or sometimes they don't, but as soon as they initiate the track, all of a sudden they have to void. Now, I'm totally cool with that. If they need to void on the middle of the trail, it doesn't matter where it is, it's fine, I don't care. What the issue is if it's marking. In other words, they're stopping every 2 feet to lift their leg. He's not doing that. He obviously really had to poop. More importantly, got right back to work and had absolutely no problem finding the trail layer. So overall, this is a fantastic track. Don't worry about the pooping on the track, even if he pooped before you start.
Hang on, little bud, hang on. Good boy, yeah, Dookie Hund. Dookie Hund, lieber man. Yeah. That's a boy.
I forgot to start my watch.
That's right. Off you go. Yep.
Okay, so now we're starting on our afternoon track, and he takes scent really, really well. I like the fact that he's not taking the article with him any longer. Then he goes off to the side of the hill like this. And, you know, one of the things that I can't say exactly what happened here. You know, it was so quick and we lost sight of him so fast. The body language was pretty hard to read, but What I liked is the simple fact that he came right back out and came and hit your track line really, really nicely. And you can tell by this sudden head pop and sudden burst of speed. Now, one of the things that does happen is he comes off the side again and looks on the side of the hill. So this is twice. You have to think that this is probably scent related. I venture to say you have a lot of odor traveling down that creek bed. We've actually had that happen before. Now, one of the things that happens is he has to take a leak right here. And we talked about flight or fight on your last trailing session earlier this morning. Try not to get concerned when he has to take a pee like that. The only time we're going to get worried is if he's marking, and he's not doing that. This is all flight or fight. The high-speed prey drive that comes from the trailing is generating the need to take a pee, and then here, shortly thereafter, a chance to poop. Okay, so right now, you've gone around the other side of the bush, and here you catch him pooping, and you can tell by the sound of your voice that, you know, it's actually stressing you out a little bit. You have to understand that your emotions, whatever they might be, go right down the lead to the dog. And I know you're not carrying it, but he knows how you feel. And one of the ways dogs know how you feel is through odor. Every time you have an emotional change, you have a corresponding physiological change. This physiological change will manifest itself as odor that the dogs detect. So comes out of odor, and he has to take a poop, no big deal. Try not to get stressed. Pooping is just one of those things that happen, especially when you have these high-powered dogs that are super, super driven. They just have to evacuate sometime when this happens. Now, what I do like about this track is he eventually gets right back on track and goes to work. And so even after the pee and the poop, he does a real good job of getting started again. You know, so because of the time of the day, you have a lot of background stuff going on out here. In particular, you got noise of people yelling on the other side of the creek that obviously he's detecting. But what you got to be thankful for is that even though he's detected and distracted slightly, he goes right back to work. And then when he comes by, he sees these guys on the bikes, shakes off, and gets right back to work. So even though you're having these little bits of distraction, he is still doing what he's supposed to be doing. And this is actually pretty good considering he's just a little baby. An adult dog that stops for this long, maybe we'd be a little bit more concerned. But with a kid, you got to let him do kid stuff. Now, what would be problematic is if he stopped everything that he was doing to chase those guys on the bike or to chase those voices he heard on the other side of the creek. But inherently, he knows to avoid that stuff. He knows that. He knows it's not his target, and he's staying on task. So one of the things that we really want to do when these things take place, pee, poop, little audible distraction, little visual distraction, as long as he's not shutting down and as long as it's not really affecting his job, just let these things happen. And again, as it goes to peeing and pooping, as long as he's not marking, he's going to have to probably do this from time to time. You may end up actually having one of those dogs that's the chronic pooper as soon as you start a track because of flight or fight. It's so natural. It's just one of those things that happens, and you just kind of have to deal with it. So now he's running into a scent pool issue, and that's why he's changing direction quite a bit, slowing down, stopping, investigating different things. He doesn't have a scent cone to work, so he actually has to work the edge of the pool to get back to source, and that's what he's doing right here. So whenever he gets into scent pools, you have this type of behavior, we just kind of have to be patient with it and let it go. But overall, really, really great training day. Your distances are good, the commitment's good, and don't worry about the pooping and peeing the way it is right now.
Doggy hund! Yeah! Go boy, Rizzo!